Welcome to Cooking with Stef and James in number 1.
This is going to turn out great.
This is kind of out of our comfort zone. We don't usually do videos like this of just us living, but so we'll see how this goes. But tonight for dinner, we are making a festive squash soup.
I have a question.
You do?
What makes it festive?
Well, it's really the ingredients that you put on top of the squash soup that makes it festive, because you've got the bright red peppers and green peppers and cilantro and the Mexican crema, and it just is super pretty. So that's the festive. And the cumin. There's cumin in it.
Yeah.
Cumin's always festive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know if you've seen it or not yet, but Camping World is running a 12 days of giveaways. And James and I are working with them on day number 3.
3 French horns.
No, French hens, right?
Are you sure?
Partridge in a pear tree, turtle
2 turtle
doves,
doves.
French hens.
French horns would be cooler for the record.
But anyway, so what's happening is you have a chance to win a $500 gift card. On our day 3, you can go over to Twitter and share a picture of one of your favorite holiday recipes, and that's how you get entered to win one of the $500 gift cards. And we're so excited we get to help give them away.
You know, you're probably going to be cooking something anyway, so you might as well just take a picture of it and
Right. $500?
$500.
So back to our recipe. So the squash soup is so simple, and it did have one step that I had to do in the house before we started cooking in the RV. So
our RV doesn't have an oven.
yeah, so I had to roast a squash and a potato, and I did that ahead of time, and then we'll add all that in just a little while. So I'm not going to run through all the ingredients, but basically what you do to roast a squash is you cut off the stem, you cut it in half the long way, and you're going to roast that for an hour in the oven at 400. And in this recipe, I also roasted a potato. You wouldn't need a potato in this soup. I don't know if it's Minnesota in me or what, but all pureed soups, I just love having a potato in them. So I added a potato.
Do you do that with all the soups?
Every puree soup I ever make, yes, for some reason, there's a potato in it. So I guess the potato could be optional.
I'm still learning things about you. I didn't know there was a potato obsession. Okay.
I have my mysteries, right? All right, so James, what are you doing?
Well, I was cutting an onion, dicing it up, and I'm just going to saute it here for a few minutes until it's translucent. I put in a little salt and pepper because I like them. I don't know if that was in your recipe or not, but I did it.
Okay.
And then once these are translucent, we'll add the rest of these ingredients, and we'll get to that in just a minute, I guess.
All right, we'll be right back. Well, okay, so while those are finishing up, let's talk about toppings, because that is where the magic happens.
This is what you said makes it festive.
Yes. See these festive colors there? I don't know if you can see the festive colors, the red pepper and the white. So this bottle is Mexican crema, and I just made this homemade. It is kind of like a sour cream, but a little bit runnier, and it doesn't curdle when it gets hot like sour cream does. And to make your own, it's so easy. It's just, you take a cup of milk, stir in about a tablespoon of plain yogurt, and then seal that in a jar and just leave it at room temperature for 24 to 48 hours. And then after it's had time to set like that, it's
Really?
okay. Yeah, it's really good. Taste it.
Right.
And then you just add in 2 teaspoons of lime juice. After it's set, taste that.
No.
It's really good.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
2 teaspoons of lime juice, little salt, and that's all that this is, and it's so good. It's like a tastier, healthier sour cream.
All right.
So you drizzle this over the top of the squash soup. We're gonna slice up some of these red jalapenos. We're gonna slice up some green jalapenos. If you don't like spicy, you can do a more mild pepper. And then, of course, cilantro.
Of course.
And if you don't like cilantro, you could do some other herb. What do you think? Chives, parsley?
Yeah.
What else might be good?
Well, whatever floats your boat. It's a fairly basic soup. so anything would layer well on top of it. Speaking of the soup, these are what I'm going to call translucent, so I'm going to start adding stuff.
Okay, and don't worry about writing the recipe down or anything. We will have the recipe over on the Fit RV. There will be a link in the description. You can just click that. You can go to the recipe, and you can also learn more about those $500 gift card giveaways by Camping World.
$500.
Because we are day three.
Well, it seems like there should be 3 $500 gift cards, but hey, 4 is better, right?
Yes. All right, so you're mixing everything together, and once everything is in the pot, we just simmer that for about 30 minutes so everything gets soft, the flavors all come together. James is adding a container of vegetable broth right now, and that's like 4 cups of vegetable broth. And make sure you get an all-natural vegetable broth, and something that doesn't have lots of weird preservatives or anything. This one was just 100% natural. It's olive oil, salt, and vegetable broth. So yeah, know your vegetable broths. This one tastes so good too. This is the Annetto brand.
All right. And then we need some spices. So those I'm going to measure because I tend to get a little heavy-handed with the spices. So what am I after? I'm after
cumin and coriander.
2 teaspoons of coriander and 1 teaspoon of cumin.
Yeah, and that's it for spices besides salt and pepper to taste in the soup. It's so easy.
1?
That's...
We don't have to like stay on camera and entertain people for 30 minutes while this...
No, we'll do you all a favor and we will cut.
Good.
Once you have that.
All right, and then 1 teaspoon of cumin.
And I guess the other options, there are other topping ideas. You could put piñon nuts in, or even cashews. I love cashews on soups, just to give it a little crunch. You could do a different kind of cheese that you liked on the top. I think the fun of this soup is just to have a little tray of different toppings and let people just put whatever they want on top of their soup. It's one of those soups that the flavors are so mild, you really can do anything for toppings on it.
All right, well, like there were seeds in this squash when you started to roast it, right? So you could like roast those squash seeds if you wanted to.
Yes, and that is a great option. You roast them at about 300 degrees for 15 minutes. I like to do a little chili powder and salt mix. So we roll them in that with a little olive oil and then roast them on parchment paper. And once you hear them start popping, then you know it's time to pull them out of the oven. It's about 300.
Is that these?
No, these are roasted pumpkin seeds that we already had, and that's why I didn't roast more squash seeds.
Okay.
And plus the pumpkin seeds are green, and that's kind of festive. We're gonna put those on top.
Festive again.
Of the soup, right? It's all part of the festive squash soup.
All right, well this is... So we've got in there the squash, the onions, spices, salt and pepper.
The potato, the roasted
potato, which was in your thing anyway.
Yeah.
And
the broth.
So we bring it to a boil and let it simmer for 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
All right. We'll see you in 30 minutes plus whatever time it takes us to boil.
It's time.
Yeah, due to the magic of video, it's been a half hour. The soup is done. Also, don't touch your eye after slicing jalapenos. Not recommended.
Noted.
Okay, so here we go with some...
You know, it's a project then. Like, I guess there's not blood, but
there's no
injury.
Blood. There's no blood.
So it's a project.
All right, so now the next thing we need to do is we got to puree this because it's very soft. But it's still, you know, we got chunks. We don't want chunks.
Yep, and so there's 2 options to do that. You can use an immersion blender, which is what we're going to do. But you can also just do small batches of the soup in your blender. But just be very careful if you've never blended anything hot in your blender before. Yeah, it tends to explode. So you want to take the centerpiece out of your lid so some air can get going through there and it won't explode. And just use your lowest setting if you're using your blender.
All right, low is there, and that's high. All right.
All right, go for it.
Anybody want to make any bets as to whether or not this winds up all over our RV?
Oh, jeez.
Okay. We're doing good.
I'm going to get some video of you. smells really good in here.
I'm certainly getting hungry. I think I'm going to try high.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. There we go.
Ooh, you're cruising now. Can you?
Are you eating the toppings?
Okay, this is the real reason why we make this soup.
You're eating the toppings. It's not authorized.
These crostinis are from our local market, Harmon's, and they are the best thing in the world. And they go great in this soup.
That is super mild.
Yeah.
All right. So, several minutes of immersion blending later, we have
Soup
a
is
pureed
ready.
soup.
Is it time to start dipping crostinis? Making our soup?
No. Yes. All right, fine. All right, so what makes this festive?
Well, I think
The toppings.
the toppings.
It's not festive until you're wearing a hat.
That's right.
All right.
So yeah, this is how it works. You just have a bunch of different optional
Can I go?
toppings. Yeah,
Can
I already went.
Where's the cream? The cream stuff. It's over there.
Ooh, yes. You're finally gonna try my Mexican crema.
I guess.
You're gonna love it. And of course, the best part, the crostinis. So this soup, yeah, it's what do you think? It's just kind of mild.
Well, I tasted the soup, and the soup is very mild, so I'm expecting that
Yeah.
this will jazz it up.
That's the jazz. So yeah, if you like comforting mild soups, this squash soup is that. And you could really switch out the spices. We have a curry one we do as well. Totally changes the feel of it with a little coconut milk and curry instead.
Yep. Right, but don't forget to share your pictures because we're the 12 day, we're day 3, 12
Yes,
days of
giving.
giveaways. So share your pictures.
Yep, over on Twitter. And to learn how to do that, just click the link in the description. We have it all explained there. And yeah, I guess it's
The recipe will be in a link in the description too. So if you want the recipe, you can look for it there. I'm hungry.
Let's
I go?
eat. Happy December, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Bye. I could see it somehow.
Oh, ooh,
What happened?
I touched my eye.
Don't do that.
Oh, I touched my eye.
Oh no.
Oh, why did I do that? I'm gonna cry now.
Oh, pepper eye. Do you need some water? Here, do you want some water?
Oh.
Jeez. You're such a baby. Do you want some water? Do you want to go wash your eye?
No, I won't. I'll just suffer. Oh,
Suck it
hurts.
up. Suck
It
it up,
hurts.
Buttercup.
Oh, what did I do that for? That was so dumb.
The camera's going.
Oh, great.